All right, session 5 starting up. So everyone, I don't know if I had a chance to read the summary. I'm not going to go through every single little plot point that went on, but you basically were introduced to Barovia, the village of Barovia, after escaping Death House. You made your way to the Blood on the Vine Tavern, where you made the acquaintance of several people. There was a table of Vistani women that you met that were the owners of the tavern, and I recall Clytus actually striking up a little deal there where he was going to try and brew up some ale for them if they could. What am I trying to say? If they could get a hold of the supplies necessary for it. And also in the inn, you ran into a gentleman named Ismark, who is the son of the late Burgomaster of Barovia. And he kind of recruited you guys. Well, it was kind of a deal that you made. It worked out well for both of you. You guys needed a place to stay, and he needed some hardy adventurers to help him in his family situation. His sister Irina had twice been visited by the devil Strahd and had bitten her twice, and he wants to get her the hell out of Barovia before he comes knocking a third time. He also has the body of his father to bury, and so you guys actually went to the church last time to essentially try and set it up with the village priest and get the grave dug so that the funeral could take place at dawn. You went to the church and you found that the priest's son, Doru, had been turned into a vampire at some point, and the priest had locked him in the undercroft of the church. So after convincing him that his son was not able to be restored and pretty much was gone and needed to be destroyed, he acquiesced and let you into the undercroft, where you encountered and battled the vampire spawn, eventually destroying him. After that, you went back up into the church, and Rowan left. The rest of the party was still in the church, but Rowan went outside to start digging the grave, and as he exited the church and went around the back to the graveyard, he saw that along the back of the graveyard there's a fence, and on the other side of that fence there was a line of 30 wolves just standing there silently watching you. And that's where we left off. So we will go ahead and switch over to the church here. And actually, looks like the tokens were actually out of everyone. So I'm assuming, Rowan, you either called out or something and got everyone out of the church.
Remember,
So yeah, Donovich is still inside, but you guys are out in the graveyard behind the church, and you see this line of wolves standing there silently watching you.
They're on the other side of the fence?
Yes. Actually, I can quick switch over to the village map, and if you look at the top there, you can see the graveyard's pretty big, and it's kind of a semicircle.
Right there.
Right. You just came out of the church around, kind of entered the graveyard, and the wolves are pretty much just kind of all along here and in a nice line.
So they can't come through the fence?
The fence, it's not tall. It's probably about 4 feet tall. So you figure if they really wanted to come in, they could probably jump over it. But at the moment, they don't seem to be approaching you, just watching you.
Is there a special place I'm supposed to dig this grave for the Burgomaster? I'm sure he's probably got a place of honor or something.
Well, you didn't ask, so you don't know.
Just dig a hole.
Yeah.
Could ask Donovich. Would he know?
Yeah, probably.
You'd have to ask him.
Is he with us, or is he...
No, he's inside.
He remained in the church.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go back and ask him where he would like us to bury the Burgomaster.
Okay. You approach him, and he looks like he's recovered a lot of his composure from the insane fool that he looked before. And he says to you that his Kolyan actually had a plot reserved. It's a family plot, and the site, there's no gravestone yet, but there is a grave plot for him, so he can actually take you to it if you want.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you mention that there are a bunch of wolves out there?
Probably
No,
should.
let it be a surprise when we get outside.
Minor detail.
Alright.
And so, okay, so the rest of you guys stayed out there. The wolves, again, have not approached, but they're not backing off either. So when you go out there with Donovich, he sees the wolves as well, and his eyes kind of widen, and he looks at you and he whispers, "The Devil's Minions."
So, do they come by often?
No, not often, but I have seen them. And they at least once have attacked this place. And if you recall, the first time you approached the church, there were actually some claw marks on the front, although he said that some of that was actually due to Doru himself scratching up and busting up the place.
Okay. So, does he show us where the grave needs to be?
Yeah, he kind of lets you guys go first, but because you have to get
Sure.
closer to the wolves. But it's about halfway into the graveyard, and it's a plot that's essentially not really marked. Again, there's no gravestone marked as of yet, but he indicates that this is the plot that he had set aside for himself and for his family.
All right.
We only have one shovel. Is that correct?
You, I believe, only bought the
I bought
one.
one. Yeah.
Rampant inflation. So, who wants to dig this sucker? Take turns. How long is it
Yeah,
going to take us to dig a 6-foot hole?
I'll start it.
Yeah, you figure that with one person digging, it would probably take you about an hour at least, maybe two, depending on how rocky the ground is.
All right. Well, if you're going to start digging the grave, I'm going to go over by the fence and take a look at the wolves.
Okay.
I'm gonna join Clytus.
All right.
Me too.
All right. So Donovich will remain behind with Rowan as he digs the grave. Actually, he says that if you've got it in hand, there's a lot of cleanup that he needs to do in the church too. That and he needs to also get some stuff ready for the funeral too. So he'll leave you to it unless you need moral support for some reason.
Plus all those wolves.
Yeah, the wolves aren't really helping either. So yeah, you approach the wolves and they don't back off, but they again do not attack you. They're just standing there silently watching you.
I'm going to eye them up and see if one of them looks like a leader.
There's one that's kind of looks maybe like a little bit bigger than the others. It might be the alpha male. It's not a dire wolf, but it looks a little bigger and it's maybe stepped a little bit ahead of the others, just in terms of its position. But it's not moving or advancing or doing anything.
Are they standing or sitting?
They right now, well, it's a mixture. Some of them are kind of sitting on their haunches, but most of them appear to be alert and watching you on their on all fours.
All right. Well, I go stand right in front of that big one, on this side of the gate, of course.
Okay.
Or
Yeah, they're
the
probably
fence.
about 10, 15 feet away from the actual fence line.
Okay. Then
So,
say, oh, go ahead.
so I'm gonna use my new power. I'm gonna use my minor illusion cantrip, and I'm gonna create an illusion of a wolf. It can't be no bigger than a 5-foot cube. So I have no idea how big these wolves are, but I'm gonna try and make it as big as they are.
Yeah, they're like large dogs.
So I'm gonna have it walk through the fence and go stand in front of the alpha that Clytus is gonna hang out with.
Walk through the
Walk
fence,
through the fence.
like
Yep.
it's a ghost of some, like it's insubstantial. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see how they would react to this. All right, so you have an approach. Does he get a will save for this or?
Let's see. How do I click it into the? Oh, I think
If it's a spell, I think you just click on the
spell,
spells.
then I do that. So I don't.
If the creature uses its action to examine it, it can determine its illusion with an intelligence check.
Check versus my DC. So my DC would be. Dude, I have no idea. What's the monk DC for spellcasting? Do I use my?
If you click on your character sheet and go to spells, it should tell you.
Okay, well, its intelligence is 3, so it's probably not going to make it, but we'll roll. He got an effective 0. He rolled a 4, he has a -4. So he is completely taken in by your illusion. You can see his hackles raise, and he bars his teeth and starts growling at your illusionary wolf.
And it just stands there. I'm not going to have it react, but, I guess I've seen happy dogs. I'll make it look like a happy dog.
Okay, it looks like a hat, so it's just sitting there.
It's not going to last very long. It's only going to last a minute, so eventually it's going to go poof.
Okay. It snarls and leaps at your illusionary wolf. It does make an attack against it. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but it would have gotten an AC 11 or so, or 12, excuse me, with his attack.
Yeah. Any physical interaction with the image reveals it as an illusion, and you're done.
Okay. All right. So it looks confused as it tries to, bring its jaws down on the illusionary wolf, and nothing. It just snaps right through it. So then after it kind of gradually, you can see the tension kind of loosen out of it, and it then kind of looks directly at you guys as if it somehow made the connection that you guys brought this illusionary wolf into its midst.
No, not you guys. It's that dude there. No.
It's fun. We gotta go for fun.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're a team. I forgot. I better shut up and keep digging.
So I look at the wolf and I say, "Yeah, that's right, beastie."
It does not reply.
So I look around and I say, "So what brings you boys here?"
They again do not respond, but just carefully, intently watch you.
Can anybody cast Speak with Animal?
Sure, I don't have it, but what the heck?
The result is confusing for everyone.
I just stand and look at them and try to discern, if I look in the distance. Is anyone nearby or anything nearby, or is it just the wolves?
It's just you don't see anybody else. The tree line of the Svalich Woods is not too far away. I mean, it's the whole church is on a hill, so you can kind of do a 360 of really the whole village and the whole area. But the village streets aren't even though it's daytime, it's still pretty much dead. So you don't really see anyone out and moving about, and you don't see anyone at the tree line. And really, the wolves are the only creatures that you see right now.
Okay. I'm gonna dig into my bags and see if I can find would I have a jerky or something?
I don't know if you had jerky, but do you have rations?
Should have rations. Well, I have it on my sheet, unfortunately. Well, I have. Yeah, it would be in the. Oh.
Can't hear you,
really.
Kyle.
Yep, we can't hear you, Kyle.
Kyle?
Who's Kyle?
Jugs.
Jugs?
Kyle.
Jugs.
Is he talking?
Can you hear me?
Yep, now we can hear you.
can.
Oh, all right. I must have bumped the mute button. I'm gonna go sit down next to a gravestone and start drinking, because I'm rather uninterested in the wolves.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna watch Rowan, and
I don't
you
think I
guys
have
do
any
whatever
food.
you want to do.
I don't think I have any food with me, so I was gonna try to give him something, but So I'm just gonna sit down, take my axe out, and sharpen it while sitting in front of the fence.
All right. Adrian, are you going to do anything?
I'll go help dig.
Okay. Basically, the wolves, if you don't attack them or do anything else, they stand there studying you for probably about maybe 10, 20 minutes, and then slowly, one by one, they turn and walk away deliberately into the tree line. and disappear into the woods.
We should have attacked him.
I think they were just doing recon.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
It definitely was unlike normal wolf behavior that you'd seen before, where they're usually pretty aggressive. Well, I mean, when you moved your illusionary wolf in there, he seemed to get a rise out of that. But other than that, they don't normally go there and stand and look at people and not do anything. So about an hour later, you get the grave dug up, and you're now filthy Rowan. But the work is done.
We have one more to dig.
Are you going to dig a grave for Doru?
Yep.
Do you know that with your headset around your neck, you look like a priest, Dave?
Yeah, I know. I see that.
You do.
I can't have that.
Father Dave, which is appropriate. So you're going to spend another hour digging a grave for Doru?
Yeah, hole, grave, whatever.
Okay.
They're both the same.
And after that, anything else?
Well, then we gotta probably go back to the house and prepare the guy for the ceremony, the funeral.
Okay. Donovich says that the ceremony will take place at dawn. So if you guys want to show up shortly before the dawn, like an hour or something like that beforehand, that should give you time to get everything ready.
All right.
It's now.
Well, we're still staying at their house, right?
Yeah. You'd stayed there last night, but you got there so late that you needed a full rest, a long rest. Yeah. So.
No, I mean we'll come. I would assume we'd come with them, right?
They had said that it would be best if everyone stayed together.
Okay.
All right. So otherwise, you take your leave of Donovich and the church and move back to the village.
I imagine it's not that late in the day, so.
No, I was just going to say that you stopped. I mean, you slept in a little bit because you went to bed at like 2 a.m. or 2:30. So it was probably close to 10 or 11 by the time you got up and started moving around. You stopped at the mercantile. You probably blew maybe an hour there at max. So, and with the fight, so it's probably 2, 3 in the afternoon at the most.
All right, but if we have to, cart a body halfway across town, we probably have to get up at like 2:30 or so and get it ready to get moving. Sunrise is what? 5 something or 6?
You get the impression that it's autumn here. I mean, that's the sensation that you got from the color on the lack of leaves on some of the trees, and so it's probably closer to maybe 7 that you see sunrise.
Even better.
I'm gonna go hang out at the tavern.
Okay. Well, as you guys are walking down the main drag there, I keep having to move myself. Wrong map. Get on the right map, Paul. Here we go. So you get to about there, and you hear that creaking noise that you noticed last night when Jugs and Clytus, when you came back from the inn. You had heard this kind of squeaking, creaking noise that sounded like wooden wagon wheels or something, and you just ignored it. You said you didn't want to investigate it at the time, but now you hear it. It's daytime, and you hear it's coming down the street off to your northeast that way. And if you guys can make a perception check, I'll see what you see. Nine, 7.
Yeah, we're real perceptive.
Oh yeah, we're right on target here.
You don't see shit.
12.
I see more than you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see about 10% more.
We don't see shit.
Well,
I see dead people.
Paul did find his own ass, but he did have to use both hands and a flashlight. Paul, Edrin, down the street, you catch a glimpse as it's kind of rounding the corner and heading down further down the street this way. You do catch like the tail end of what looks like some kind of a wooden cart.
Is this an odd occurrence in this town?
You have not seen anybody else on the streets.
So this would be an odd occurrence.
Yes.
I will tell the crew, hey dudes, I think I see a wooden cart. Have you ever seen a wooden cart here?
Do we hear anybody saying "bring out the dead" or anything?
No. You don't hear
I
any
heard a
voices.
wooden
as
cart
well.
last night.
You still hear the cart, but it's a bit more muffled.
All right, well, let's go follow.
It was out and about last night. It might be pretty normal. I don't know.
Maybe it's a cab.
All right, well, you head down this street here, and as you round the corner, you see that the cart has stopped right about here. And what it is, and actually it's the cart itself is kind of off to the side of the street, and in front of that house, which looks to be one of the few in Barovia that isn't boarded up and abandoned looking, there stands an older woman who, very wrinkled, kind of hunched over, and she is pounding on the front door of this house.
Okay.
This house?
No, actually that one right there.
Okay. Let's approach her.
Okay. You approach that house, and are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just walking,
No,
just
it's the middle of the day.
meandering up to her? Okay. You get closer, and you can hear she's still pounding on the door, and you hear her say, "Get out here! I want you out here right now! I know you're in there. You can't hide from me." And as you approach, she actually stops and notices you for the first time and says, "What the hell do you want?"
Just wondering the same thing. Who are you?
"Well, I'm Morgantha. Who are you?"
We're new to town. Just saying hello.
"Hello. Now get lost." She turns and resumes pounding on the door.
Morgantha, bitch. All right, got my notes.
I'm just gonna stand back and watch and see what happens.
Okay. Anybody else gonna do anything else?
I'll watch.
Okay. After about another minute or so of her pounding on the door, it finally opens, and you see a woman who's probably middle-aged, but you can see that there are these tremendous bags under her eyes, like she hasn't slept in weeks. She's very gaunt, very thin. Looks like hasn't eaten well either. Some sores have broken out on her face from not getting enough, well, not sunlight obviously, but also not enough vitamins. In any case, she looks like kind of like a meth addict. And she sees Morgantha on her front step, and she says, "We don't have what you want." And Morgantha says, "Bullshit! I know you've got what I need. If you don't pay me, you're going to get cut off." And she kind of trembles and looks back inside the house, and then her head drops, and she says, "Very well." And she turns back to go into the house, and as she steps away, Morgantha says, "And put it in a sack this time!" So she then kind of turns around and like faces you guys and kind of looks at you like she's expecting you to move along.
I put my hands over my chest and keep watching.
I'm really enjoying Paul talking to himself, so I'm gonna do nothing.
Always the fun part of NPCs, yes. She kind of taps her foot impatiently, looking down. After about another 30 seconds or so, the door opens up again, and this time you see a man coming out. He's also very thin and malnourished looking. He's carrying a sack, a big sack that looks like it has a body in it, a small body, like the size of a child. And he slowly walks over to the cart and then gently sets it down in the cart and then turns and walks back towards the front of his house.
All right. I asked the lady, Morgantha. I'm like, so Morgantha, what's your business? What do you do for a living?
My business is pie. Do you want some?
What goes in your pie?
What goes in my pie? The finest spices.
Really? What spices are in that bag there?
That bag has no spices. That's payment for my pie.
And what do you get paid with?
That's my business, not yours.
Well, what if I wanted to buy a pie?
Well, we could
Burger
arrange
pie.
that. If you're interested in my pie, we can arrange for a free sample if you like.
This just sounds so dirty.
I know.
It really does.
Come on, what are you doing to me? You're killing me.
I said, well, I sorry, but I want to know how much.
How good your pie is.
I want to know how much it's going to cost me before I.
Oh, if you're interested, there's no charge in a free sample.
I realize that, but if let's say I like it, another one, what are you going to charge me?
Well, that's negotiable, of course.
Is the bag moving at all?
The bag is completely still.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over to the bag and poke it.
Hey, get away from that. That's not yours. If you want a pie, I'll get you a pie. And she goes to the back of the cart. Behind the sack, actually, you see there's a kind of a wooden crate that's hinged, has a hinged lid. She lifts it up, and inside you see basically these small, very nice-looking pastries, and kind of a cinnamony smell kind of wafts out, like they've been baked in the not too distant past. She takes it out. It's basically like a small pie. It's about
Like a pot pie size?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a small pot pie. And she holds it out to Euclides and says, "Here you go."
Remember, you have a lot of allergies.
So I take it and I look at it and I smell it. What is it? I mean, does it look?
It looks like a normal pie. It's got a kind of a delicate, flaky crust. You can see that there are some spices like cinnamon and other, what you'd normally put in a pie. It looks like a mincemeat pie, kind of.
All right. Did the guy go back in the house yet?
Yes, he's gone inside and shut the door.
I say, well, thank you. We'll try your pie. Where if I want more, where do I find you?
Oh, I'm around. I usually come and collect payment for my pies just about every other day or so, depending on how busy it gets. If I'm baking, then that takes longer.
Do I get a free sample?
Oh, sure. We can arrange that. Do your friends want one too?
Yeah, there's 4 of us.
Rowan doesn't want one.
Rowan doesn't want one? How about Adrin?
How about you, Adrin?
Would you like some pie?
You want a pie?
You
No.
want to taste my moist pie?
No, I will skip out on the pie.
You're not.
It's actually
nice
kind of
pie or
flaky
pie?
looking, but
I'm not in a pie.
not in a pie. Okay. Well, she does.
Moist on the inside.
Oh God, let's just not go there any further.
All right. So what does she leave?
Well, first she gets out another one of these pies out of the crate and hands it to you, Jugs. And
What flavors do you have? That's all I want to know.
there's just one flavor. It's a dream pastry.
A what?
It's a dream pastry.
What's the dream?
Dream?
Dream is
As
in the
in, like,
pastry of your dreams.
Will it make them dream, or is it? Is there a flavor that is dream?
It's a
Describe
flavor.
the flavor that is dream.
Well, you could have had a free sample.
It's hard to describe, but if you want to taste it, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I guarantee you'll enjoy it.
I guarantee you, I'm not going to try it. I find you quite creepy, and I tell her that.
Well, you're no bundle of last year's self. And she then turns around and picks up her cart. There's basically kind of two handles on the front, and it's like she's walking kind of like a beast of burden carrying this thing.
I'm going to walk up. I'm pretty quick. I've got a movement of 45, so I'll be sauntering behind her, and I'm going to look in that bag that that the guy gave her.
Okay. Well, it's in the back of the cart, and
I'll get in the back of the cart.
okay. Well, she drops the handle as soon as you get the hell off of my cart.
I'm going to look in the bag. I don't care what she says.
Okay. Roll initiative.
God damn it.
Okay. But I only got 15 hit points.
Oh, where's our characters so we can click on them?
Oh, yeah. Hang on. I can actually. I'll just. I don't have a thing set up for this street, but I'll just put you here on this.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't select myself. Damn it. I'll do that again. There we go.
Yeah.
Like that one much better.
Jeez.
Where is she?
I want to swap with Paul's roller. My roller.
Jesus. Yeah.
Oh, I would help.
Find us.
Help if I looked in the right area
If
here.
Paul, then natural 20.
Oh, there we go.
That's her. Oh, that really sucked. Dope.
One?
Wait, don't you have at least some kind of bonus to your initiative?
No, I don't.
God dang it.
Really? Wow.
Natural 1.
Yeah,
Well,
what would that normally be?
be your dex usually.
You're done.
Oh yeah, my dex is 11, so no.
Okay.
Oh well, that's okay.
Well,
Look at it
she
this way. You'll be going first next round.
didn't do much better. So. Okay, well, Adrian, you happen to actually be the first in line. So you are able to, basically as an action, you could use an action to untie the...
Oh, there, I don't know. Am I close to her? Is that where I am?
Yeah, actually, give me a second here. I can actually find a cart. Where's my go-to cart image that I usually use here? Here we go. This will work. It's bigger than that, though. Okay, so we'll say that's the cart. She's right there, and the
You
sacks.
hopped up on there, you said.
Yeah, so if you hop to... Oh,
We're like,
There we go.
we're
Okay.
further away, right?
yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
you guys
we
are probably
can-
like 20 feet away.
Okay. So my action is going to be to look in the bag.
All right.
20 feet's right there.
Well, your action would be to, it's kind of slip knot. There's not a slip knot, but a knot kind of tied around the top of it. So one action would be to open the
I
bag,
wanna- Yeah.
and
Okay.
and I'd say you
Hello.
could actually start to look into it. You do see what looks to be a small child inside the bag.
Dead or alive.
Unknown at this point. It's not moving.
Okay. That's just creepy. I want this woman hurt. Sorry.
That's your turn. Jugs is up.
They don't even know what I'm doing. You're missing a G, Jugs.
I know.
You're
I said
G-less.
that last week, and he didn't fix it yet. Missing a G there.
You're double G's.
Those are some big ones.
Oh, do I have to edit that?
I don't know how to edit it. If I can, I don't know how. Or...
Yeah.
oh, edit token. Here we go.
Edit
There.
token.
There.
Anyway, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You're
go.
up.
The house is probably over here, right?
Yeah, it would be.
I'm trying to picture where
Yeah.
we are. So I'm gonna walk like towards the house.
Okay.
Like towards the stairs or whatever, near the front door of the house.
Say that's the house.
Okay, well then I'm inside of it. I'm gonna go near the door of the house and I guess I don't know what's in the bag.
Nope.
Because he didn't tell us. He just looked in. I'm gonna knock on the door of the house for my action.
Okay. Just knock softly, bang on it. What do you do?
Yeah. I'm gonna bang on it.
Okay, so you bang
Someone
loudly on the
else.
door. Okay. So... Oop. That's not what I want here.
I'm trying not to metagame it.
Yep,
'cause
understood.
I don't know what's in the bag.
Okay. So nothing immediately happens after you knock on the door, which you aren't terribly surprised about since nobody immediately answered her knocking. Okay, so Morgantha. She... Oh, what is she gonna do here?
I'm gonna kill you all.
She casts a spell on Adrin. And I've got to look it up here quick. Okay, so got to roll a bunch of d8s here. Oh, pucker. Of course, my other d8's missing. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to do it in here. All right. Adrian, how many hit points do you have?
Not that many.
Okay, you fall asleep. She casts sleep on you.
Oh, I'm an elf.
Oh, wait, are you totally immune to that?
I'm pretty sure. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I think that was for me.
Undead and creatures immune to being charmed aren't affected by this spell.
Elf traits. Dark vision.
I think aren't elves immune to charm as well?
I
Or
cannot
no?
be either charmed or put to sleep.
Okay. All right. Well, she's not necessarily stupid, but I'll say,
Would she know that?
well, it's just a matter of were you wearing a hat or were you obscuring your features in any way?
I look like I do in my picture. So I have long hair. My ears might have been.
Yeah. Okay. So you're. Well, okay. I'm gonna
Roll the
rule.
dice.
She was so.
50-50.
I'm gonna rule she was so pissed off that she didn't think about it. So she wasted her spell.
Okay. So as my reaction to her casting a spell on me, because I know she'd do that, can I say, "You got a kid in here? That's twisted."
Not as twisted as you're going to be.
All right, there we go.
Clytus is up.
Okay.
Kid in there.
All right. Well,
So
my
now we
original
heard
plan
that.
was I was going to wait until she left, then I was going to go up to the door and offer the pie to the family. And
I was gonna do the same thing.
But so,
Damn it.
but once I hear all this yelling and her casting spells, I would drop the pie on the ground.
But it's a
And-
dream pie, dude. You're gonna lose.
Don't waste the dream pie.
Well, it'll still be there. It'll just be,
Oh, Dusty.
5-round rule, right?
Yes.
30-second rule would be 6 rounds. So, or no, it would be 5 round. Yeah.
So I drop it and I come running over here and pull out my axe as a flourish.
Ooh.
I don't think I can get to her though. Right?
You've got, if you're gonna run
I
it to
think
like
we're 20 here. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
almost.
I'll move around. I'll say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What is going on, lady?"
All right. Well, that would be a
Does she
move.
answer?
Well, no, not really. She seems focused on getting Adrin.
Okay. I say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's going on, lady?" And then, I won't be able to attack this round. So
Okay. All right, then it's Rowan's turn.
All right. Anything go? Expand this a little bit. Okay. I have that one on here. I asked this on healing word.
Word.
Word up.
Word.
Okay, so
get
you
5 points, Adrian.
Cool. Thank you.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, then if that's it, then Adrian will go.
Well,
I'm not moving.
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna say you can't touch. I can't. Look at my guy. Click, 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 click.
You have the movement thing at the arrow ruler.
Oh, duh.
Well, I just saw arrows keep appearing frantically around you.
Jump
I was
down.
trying to figure that out.
And I'm pissed. They go, you don't take kids in my town, you know. And I'm gonna whip out the Wakizashi and whacker.
He's been here a day, and it's his town.
Hey, see, look at that! I got a freaking 7. And then
Okay.
I'm gonna use bonus action to do an unarmed attack. And I'm guessing that they all miss.
That would indeed miss. All right, then that's your turn. Jugs is up.
Anything coming from the house?
Not
Just curious.
after the first 6 seconds, no.
Okay. I was wondering if I heard like any sound. So,
Nope.
okay.
They're making kind of a ruckus behind you, though, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll turn around then, and I clearly see what's going on.
Yep.
So I'm gonna cast a firebolt at her,
Oh, okay.
I suppose, because I heard him. Woo! Critically failed. All right.
No, you know what? You catch the wagon on fire.
All right.
Pull the kid off! Pull the kid
Boom!
off!
The cart erupts in flame. And it's Morgantha's turn. She says, "What the fuck are you doing to my pies?" and leaps onto the wagon and lifts
Better toasted.
up the crate and like tosses it.
Wait.
Oh,
Doesn't she get an attack of opportunity?
nope, because she actually
No,
went
she
around
hasn't
Adrian.
left anyone's.
Oh.
So she moved. She picked up the crate and tossed it over the side. That I think would pretty much take up her action. So she is standing now in the flaming cart. No, I think she would jump back down again. Let me see if she takes any damage from doing that.
Oh, but she just moved out of my threatened area.
Oh yeah, so you would get a swing at her.
Kill her!
Sure.
Not rolling for some reason. Roll, damn it.
Click, 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 click faster.
There it is.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, weird. It didn't. I clicked it, nothing happened. I clicked it again, nothing happened. I clicked it again, and now it just came up.
Delayed.
Obviously, the first one, 13.
13 will not hit. You swing at her, but she dodges out of the way. She did take a little tiny bit of damage from the fire. Actually, even less than that. Okay, so Clytus, it's actually your turn now.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the kid in the bag and pull him out.
Okay. I'll let you make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can avoid getting burned by the flames.
Ready? I would probably say 8 does not do it.
No, you will take a little bit of damage, not a ton, but 3 points of damage from the fire. But you are able to pull the sack free and pat out any flame that might have been burgeoning on it.
Okay, I
Sorry,
looked the kid
Clytus.
over. Is he alive? Is he alive?
Well, actually, now when you kind of frantically patted it around, he actually kind of shakes himself awake and looks at you and looks surprised, shocked, and in fear, like he doesn't quite. Yeah, exactly. He didn't expect to wake up in the middle of the street.
This is creepy.
I give a toothy grin and I say, "I'm Clytus."
He starts
I'm here.
bawling. Ah!
How old is this kid?
He looks to be about 6 or 7.
I'm like, it'll be all right. We're just gonna take care of the witch.
All right, Rowan's up.
All right, I'm gonna zap her with this guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt.
You're gonna
I
critically
saw that.
fail too.
Wow. We are on
Oh,
fire.
ouch.
What does guiding bolt do?
Literally.
It's
What,
like a burst of radiant energy.
flash of light streaks towards a creature. Okay, and basically it would be radiant damage if you would hit. Okay, so yeah, looks like one of your attacks isn't hooked up there, Paul. But anyway, so your light just kind of, you actually fumbled too, but you really can't set the thing on fire with radiant damage, so
No.
we'll just say you miss. All right, Adrin.
I'm gonna punch her, or stab her first, then punch her.
Stabber, then puncher. Okay, the order is important.
23
Nice.
23 hits.
for 4. That's pretty much minimum damage.
All right.
And 16 hit for unarmed.
No, it does not.
Ooh.
She has really tough hide, and you notice that the Wakizashi does about half the normal damage you think it would.
Is everything resistant around here? God.
I'm getting that feeling.
Jugs.
We'll try this again.
It's already on fire. You can't set it on
Put it on fire more. I don't know. 13. That's a miss. Then.
13 does miss. Firebolt to flying. Morgantha. Okay. She is. Let's see. That's all right. She's gonna cast another spell. And what is her ability here? Okay. She's gonna cast magic missile on you.
Ooh.
You take 9 points of damage from 3 magic missiles, Adrin.
Oh, okay.
And that's what she's going to do. Clytus is up.
Yay. I'm gonna... Can I get around basically here and flank her?
Let's see. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. I can do that, and then I... 23.
Oh, yeah, that hits. 11 slashing. Okay, and that's non-magical damage, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't look to be too bad off still. All right, Rowan's up.
Alright. I'm gonna try that same thing again.
Next time on Guiding Light.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Bolt. Ooh,
Hey.
there you go. That hits.
Alright. That's, I do 6d6. Or wait, let me look. I
Looks
think
You can
46.
click the-
46.
If you click guiding bolt, it should do it for you.
That's what I did.
Yeah, it's an attack.
After you roll to attack, click on the guiding bolt in the shadow.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, 12 radiant damage. And she is not resistant to radiant damage, so she takes all of that.
Sweet.
Woo!
All right. Now she's starting to look a little more worried. Adrin's up.
Well, the next attack roll made against that target has advantage
Ah,
as well.
good to know.
Yes, right.
Well, you're
That's
flanking
another-
too, but
16
Oh.
misses, right?
16 does miss.
And 7's missed, right?
Oh,
Uh-uh.
jeez.
Ironically enough, yes. Any movement, or are you going to stay flanking with Clytus?
I am going to stay flanking with Clytus.
Alrighty. Jugs, back to you.
So I'm gonna move into like here. Actually, I'm not gonna stand in front of Rowan. uh, and I'm gonna let's see. This clearly isn't working, so I think I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna use Ray of Frost.
Oh, okay.
Another one of my cantrips. That's gonna miss too.
Yep. Unfortunately, 15 does not do it. Dodges
All
out of the
right.
way of that as well. Okay, and it's her turn. Okay, so she sees you guys flanking and you guys approaching, and she says, "Fuck it! I'll kill you all." And she disappears.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that's not helpful.
That witch has a potty mouth on her. Don't touch the pie. Take the case of pies. It's gonna piss her off.
Yeah, she left the case of pies there.
All right, I pick it up and I
Okay.
go back
Let's-
over and
I'm gonna go talk to the kid.
Let's take her cart too.
Well, the cart's on
That's
fire.
cart's on fire. I pick up the one I dumped in the street and I put it in the case.
Okay. Yeah, there's probably about a dozen of those things in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go knock on the door with Clytus
And I go
and see
with
if we can
jugs.
get them.
I'm
Say,
gonna
Andrew,
go
bring the kid over.
I'm gonna give the kid a hug. I want to make him feel better.
Okay. You
He
approach.
has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, well, you approach the kid. You're definitely a little bit less scary looking than Clytus. If you can actually calm him down, try to calm him down,
Yes.
probably, what would work? Some sort of a persuasion
dance.
check?
Animal empathy.
Yeah.
Insights,
No, I'd say probably persuasion.
persuasion. I got that.
I want you to narrate this failure for me.
That's performance. That's the wrong one.
Oh, yeah, that
So-
is performance.
That's not the right one.
Oh,
Click performance.
I click performance.
You try to comfort him by performing an instrument.
Wow.
Persuasion. Okay. Despite rolling a 1 on the other one, that's fine. Well, you manage to calm him down, and he stops actually crying and just tapers off to some sniffles. So he's no longer hysterical.
Can I take you back to your parents? Why were you in the back? I don't get it.
I
Let's go to that house.
Well, me and Clytus are knocking on the door right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're knocking on the door. The child says, I fell asleep and then I woke up out here. I don't know what happened.
Where's your house?
He looks up and kind of points at the house that Jugs and Clytus are knocking them.
All right. Tell them we got their kid.
Okay, so you've been knocking now probably for about 30 seconds. That's probably 30 seconds total has passed at this point. And you finally hear the sounds of somebody approaching on the other side. And you hear a very low voice on the other side say, "Who is it?"
It's your son.
There's no reply on the other
Family
side.
Voice.
And I say to the kid, tell him it's you.
"Mama, it's me."
Mario.
Mario.
Mario. Does he go off racing at that point?
Yeah.
Just shoot mushrooms out of his butt?
Does the door open?
It does not.
I knock again and I say, "Look, lady, we got your kid back for you."
Okay, there's no response.
Nothing.
Look, lady, we
I
got
say,
pies.
"Oh, we got pies for you."
Got a whole case of free pie. You want your kid, but you can have the freaking pie.
Okay, the door actually does open a crack, and you see this woman look out at you. She sees the boy next to Adrin, and you can see her eyes just like widen and like tears start running down her face, and then her eyes kind of drift to the crate that you're holding, and you can see like this nervous tick appear in her face as she's, and then her eyes just kind of do a tennis match between the boy and the pies, and the boy and the pies.
You can have both today.
She's addicted to the chronic.
I'm
man.
not leaving this kid with crack mom.
For only 6 easy payments of $29.99.
The father's laying in the living room with a vending machine on his head.
I say, all right, why did you give
Yeah.
your son to that witch?
I had no choice. And her eyes
What was
don't.
she going to do with your son?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. Did you destroy her? She kind of
No.
like looks wide-eyed at you.
She disappeared.
Does that count?
She
Like,
she will be back. I can't talk to you. And she tries to slam the door shut.
I'm gonna stop it.
Okay. Yeah, she's not very strong, so you kind of put your foot in the door, slam shut on your foot. Take 1 hit point of bludgeoning damage, but that's all.
All right.
Because she was
say,
slamming it
get
pretty
the other
hard, but
kids. I ask her if she has any other kids.
no, we have no other children. Now, please leave here before she comes back.
I don't want to leave your child with you because you're just going to sell
We're not.
her to the
leaving
witch.
him. I guarantee you, we're not. leaving.
Yeah. So I take the pie that I dropped in the road
Okay.
and I throw it in the doorway.
I thought you
Over
said
her
you were
head.
going to say throw it at her face.
No, over her head.
Right in her face.
No, I throw it right over her head, like past her.
So you like toss it into the room behind her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, her eyes kind of follow it as it goes over her head. And then she turns around, leaving the door open, and goes back and starts like looking. You can see that the inside of the house it's like you would expect it to be, except that there's not like cigarette lighters and stuff laying around. It's just debris and crap all over the floor.
Forks laying around.
Yeah, so she starts digging through all this crap on the floor, looking for the pastry that fell right in the middle
All
of
right,
it.
Jugs, open that door up.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna open the door and walk in.
All right, let's check this place. If she's got any more kids, we're taking them out of here.
This is an intervention.
This is Child Welfare Services, dude. We're taking your kids.
Barovia
Child
welfare.
Protective
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with this kid? That's what I'm gonna.
Hey, we got a whole mansion and a guy who wants us a favor. So
There, I know of a priest that might take him in.
yeah, he's missing one.
Oh,
He's down.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. After you search through the house, the father is just kind of sitting in the kitchen with his legs splayed out in front of him. You see basically the empty tin of one of those dream pastries on the floor between his knees, and this runnel of drool is just coming down the side of his face, and he's just like,
All right, I'm just gonna walk through the house to make sure there's no other kids in here.
okay, yeah, you search the rest of the house, you find no other children, and you do actually, though, find that there were 2 children's bedrooms.
Okay.
But
And
they
clearly lived in.
Yes, one of them looks to be like it would be for a young boy. There's some boys' toys around, and not to be sexist or anything, but you see some more toys that are labeled "No fun is no Blinsky," but you find no children.
All right. I grabbed some toy or something for the boy.
Okay.
Is there like a stuffed animal or something?
Yeah, sure. It's
Right.
actually kind of a grotesque looking thing with one eye missing and kind of this creepy smile, but
That was the best kind.
yes.
I take it. I go outside and give it to the kid.
Okay.
All right, you're not staying here, kid. What's your name?
Oh, crap. I knew you were going to ask that. Oh,
Can we name him?
his name is Lucian.
Oh.
All right, Lucien. Cool name, Lucien.
And
I'm gonna call
his last name is, yeah, his,
Firestarter.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I call him Firestarter.
Lucky Luciano.
Lucian. I don't know why I lapsed into that Italian accent, but it was kind of hilarious. Lucian, huh? We'll call you Mario.
Yeah.
All right, where do you guys want to do? You want to take him back to the priest, or you want to take him back to the
Yeah, I
man?
think.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of concerned about the priest lost his son as a vampire spawn.
Yeah, but now we'll trade. Trade him out.
Right.
Give him a new son.
Jesus.
Look, we brought you a new child to
That's
care
right.
for.
He just lost his sick kid. It was a vampire spawn. You think this is really going to help him?
Oh, good thing you got Apple Care on that kid.
Either.
Well, I'm just asking.
I
Where
don't know.
we gotta put him somewhere,
Let's bring him with us then, I guess.
or he could be a henchman.
Yes. Okay. Is he a fighter?
Here, you go first.
He doesn't look like much of a fighter, no.
Well,
Can we raise him to be one?
How about a thief?
All right, let's take him back to the house.
Staff of aging, like you used to do when D&D. When you hatched a dragon, you used to hit him with the aging stick, right, to get him older.
Yeah. Or again, like the Might and Magic game that you played. Just have him use
Right.
that magic item over and over again.
But then
Starve to
he'll
death. Yeah.
Then he'll-
But he'll be older. All right. So you just take him back to the mansion?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah, what the hell?
Okay. So you leave the Jarovs, that's their last name, to their fate, the mother and father, and take young Lucian to the mansion. And Ismark opens the door when you arrive and kind of looks you up and down as you kind of holding this kid in front of you, and he says, "Who is this?"
Hey, it's your new kid.
What?
Let's explain it.
is about to be eaten by a witch or something,
Or made into pie.
or made into pie.
Do you know who Morgantha is?
Yeah.
Morgantha. No, I'm not familiar with the name. Can you describe her?
Do you know what a dream pie is?
Dream pie. Would that be like a small pastry about 4 or 5 inches in diameter?
We got a
Yeah.
case of them. Show them.
We got a whole case of them.
Oh, you brought the
Mine
case
is-
with you too. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
We didn't leave it with the people.
You know, I have seen an old woman pulling a cart around distributing those to some of the residents here upon occasion. I never got involved with any of the transactions, if you want to call it that, but I assumed that she was just simply selling her wares.
It's a soylent green pie.
A soylent cream pie.
You're gonna,
It's people.
you're gonna
man.
run this town.
I'm telling you,
You
it's
should
people.
pay.
It's creepy. It's a creepy town, man. We got to get out of here. Vampires, wolves.
I would tend to agree with you. I think we should leave as soon as possible, but we do have a burial to take place, and that won't be until the morning. I did, while you were gone, I did take the liberty of proceeding to Mary's residence, where she was still crying. I had a twinge of guilt, so I investigated, and she's fine, but her daughter, Gertruda, has apparently been taken by the devil Strahd to his castle, and she is distraught, and there was nothing I could do to console her other than to give her vague assurances that I was sure that her daughter would be fine, but in all likelihood her daughter is dead. But
So you lied.
well, it's not outside the realm of possibility that she's alive, but I would not wish to place any bets on it. Anyway, have you made the preparations for the funeral?
Yes, we
Yeah.
have. Yes.
Very good. Then we will be ready to leave at dawn. We do not have a cart or horses to carry the coffin, so we will need to carry it by hand, but I believe the 6 of us can manage that without too much trouble.
Man, could we have saved the cart? What
Oh,
about this
man.
Holocaust cloak?
Well,
What about
you-
this Holocaust cloak, and I pull it out. My Holocaust cloak, remember?
You know what?
Princess Bride, right? What do we do with
Oh.
that cart that Anna was carrying? Oh, if we had a Holocaust cloak. What was it, seen the Princess Bride? Come on.
I totally missed that one, yes. No, I mean, I know the movie, but I completely spaced on that scene. Yeah, the cart you left to burn, and by now it's
Okay.
probably rubble, so. But it's not like it's that long of a walk. If you guys, all 6 of you carrying a coffin would probably take you maybe 15, 20 minutes to get to the other side of town.
Okay.
Sure.
So,
I need a full rest.
okay. Yeah,
I need
well,
to go
it's,
to the tavern.
yeah,
I-
it's,
I don't know what happened, but everything just went blank. So I missed all of that.
oh, well, he was just telling you that you were going to need to carry the coffin once the time of the funeral comes around, but it's still only like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you guys got plenty of
Right.
time. Adrin needs a long rest, which he has plenty of time to
We
take.
all do.
Yeah. So, yeah, the only other thing. No, really, nothing else needs to happen before you guys wake up and get ready for the funeral. So,
I wanted
Jugs,
to go.
you're gonna
Yeah, I
go
want
to
to
the.
go to the tavern and ask them about the pies and that lady.
Okay.
That's my goal.
What are we doing with the kid now?
Probably just staying with us for now.
Yep. We can bring him with him on the funeral. We can talk to the priest in the morning. How's that sound?
Okay, but is he going to sleep at the mansion?
Yeah.
Cool
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah, Ismark is cool with that.
Okay.
He's
All right.
he looks less than surprised that one of the residents of his town would stoop to that behavior.
I'm going to spend the rest of my day keeping the kid entertained, trying to keep him calm and happy, and then when we go to sleep, I'm going to back out. So.
Okay, yeah. Now that he's gotten more used to you, he's kind of taken a shine to you, and he looks like he's definitely not had a very happy life. But you've got his doll, so you're able to like act out little scenarios with the doll, and hey, look, I'm Strahd. I'm jumping off a cliff. Ah, that sort of thing.
You know what I'm going to do for the kid? I'm going to give him a gold piece.
Ooh, okay. He's never
had money. I bet you never had it. Give him a gold piece, and I say, "We're gonna buy some. You can buy some sweets tomorrow if you want."
Okay. Is the gold piece marked with some kind of Eshian?
You bet. It would
Sigil
be
or-
an Eshian gold piece.
Okay. Yeah, he looks at this and says, "Wow, where did you get this?
It's from my home world.
Wow, you're from a different world?
I am.
I've never seen someone from a different world with a gold coin before."
They don't have gold here.
Oh, yeah, but not from a different world.
Oh, like he's really smart. You can tell. Yes.
Okay, so Jugs, you said you're going to go to the inn and
Yeah.
talk to.
I'll go with him.
Or tavern, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the tavern. Excuse me, Blood on the Vine Tavern. And so Clytus, you're going with. Rowan, what are you doing?
We're not like sleeping yet, are we?
It's
I
only
still
about
got a
3
lot of
o'clock.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if everybody else is going and doing something else, I think I'll go to the church and see if he needs help preparing for the funeral service.
Okay. All right. So you guys insist on splitting the party all the time, don't you? All right. So the two of you
I
guys,
want to go to the bar.
Clytus and Jugs, you go to the Blood on the Vine Tavern, and look, it's open. It's 3 o'clock, but it's still open. It seems like it's always open during the day. And you see that the tap room itself is pretty much empty except for the barkeep, who is again washing the glasses in a row, one after the other.
The ladies are not there.
You don't see them.
Okay. I don't want to talk to this barkeep because I know how that's gonna go. But
What are you talking
I'm
about?
gonna
He's a brilliant conversationalist.
I'm gonna walk up to the barkeep and ask if anyone else is around.
He looks around very slowly at the rest of the tavern and looks at you, shakes his head, and goes back to rubbing his glass.
Oh. The owners, are they? Do they live around here, or are they around?
They live here. I don't know if they're in.
Okay. Can you check or?
No.
God, he's so helpful. When I look around, is there stairs or something I can tell where, like a door that would potentially lead to another area?
Yeah,
they
well,
would live?
there's the tap room, and then there's the bar. There's a door at the back of the bar, but like behind what looks like racks of wine bottles, and there's a door off to the side of the tavern area as well that's closed. They're both doors are closed actually.
The one on the side of the tavern area, I'm gonna walk over to it and turn the knob.
Okay, it's locked.
I'm gonna knock.
Okay, you knock, and there's no answer. And the
Nothing.
barkeep says,
Nothing.
"I don't believe they're here," and doesn't look up at you, but he continues wiping his glasses.
Well, you could have said that in the first place. You said you didn't know.
Well, after you knocked and nobody answered, that's what I guessed.
Okay. Do they hang out somewhere in particular that I could find them, or?
Perhaps they're at their encampment.
Where's their encampment?
Yeah, where's the encampment?
Well, you
Is it-
recall when you first met them that they had mentioned that when you first been asking about places to stay, they mentioned that you might
yeah.
be welcome at their encampment, which they said is near Sarah Pool.
So it's a ways away, though. We already know that, right? It's not like
You
right
didn't really
outside of
inquire the
town.
exact distance, but you got the impression it's outside of town.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm gonna. I'm gonna ask the barkeep if they have any food.
Well, you asked him that last night, and he said no at the time.
Oh yeah, I did ask him that. Yeah. All right. Well, then I'm gonna leave and head over to the mercantile to see if that's open.
Okay. Clytus, you had gone with, or are you just kind of tagging
Yeah.
along? Okay.
Yeah, I'll just tag along.
All right.
Actually, well, while we're still at the before we leave though,
Sure.
we haven't eaten in like forever, have we?
Yeah, well,
I have rations, and I've been like removing them from my list each day.
yeah, I didn't mention it, but I mean, I believe that Ismark said that he would, provide meals for you too. So if when you guys woke up that morning, he probably supplied you with a decent breakfast. I mean, nothing really
Sure.
elaborate. He doesn't have like a bunch of servants preparing meals for him, but I mean, it's a good meal. It's certainly better than the rations you've been eating.
All right, then I'm just gonna tag along.
Yeah, I just
right.
want to go to the mercantile and see if that's open.
Okay. Well, I'm going to cut over to Rowan quick. He's went to the church. You were going to bring. No, actually, you weren't bringing the child. You were just going to go by yourself and see if you needed supplies. Okay.
Right.
You show up. You find Donovich has actually already cleaned up quite a bit of the church, the rubble in the main chapel area. And he looks up as you enter, and he gives you a deep bow. You can tell that he definitely has a huge amount of respect for you, especially after what you've done for him.
All right. Just say, came to see if you need any help preparing for the funeral tomorrow.
I don't believe we need any preparations. You already have done more than enough digging the grave. Usually that's done by the undertaker, which we don't have. But I would certainly love to talk to you about your experiences and, plumb the depths of your faith, if you will. That faith has been hard to maintain in a land such as this, and it's oftentimes good to get a fresh perspective.
I agree.
So,
Do you have any wine?
Yeah, sure. He's got a bottle. He can go back and get it from his supply room, and not like a consecrated bottle like communion wine or something. It gets sloshed on the communion wine. Yeah. So you guys talk a little bit. Any particular topics you wanted to discuss with him?
I'll kind of go over the Mistfall preparation of the festival that I was teleported out of. And just kind of talk about that festival and see if he had anything similar here.
He
Which I
doesn't.
doubt.
Yeah, there's certainly no festivals in Barovia. Such thing seems alien. But interestingly, he does mention that in the nearby town of Valaki, they actually have a festival all the time. It seems like every other week there's a new festival. He hasn't been there in quite a while, but he said that it's something to do with the burgomaster there wants to keep people's spirits up. So he has a festival like every other week.
Wow. Nice.
But nothing like what you've talked about, the Mistfall festival. But, yeah, he, as he just talks a little bit, the conversation kind of turns over to his son, and he mentions how he became a vampire. He says that about a year ago, this mysterious stranger appeared in Barovia, not unlike yourselves, and he was a very powerful wizard, and he actually riled the people up and got them, a whole bunch of them, to march on the castle en masse with torches and pitchforks, trying to overthrow Strahd, and probably about 40 people left with him, and none of them came back alive.
Wow.
And then shortly after that, Doru appeared on his doorstep. Doru was one of the people that followed him, the wizard, and
Okay.
he assumes that's where he met his fate and was turned into a vampire.
Probably sent back to the town.
Yes, he suspects that Strahd is the one who turned him into a vampire and deliberately sent him back to the town, to Donovich specifically, to torment him. So, yeah, so that's the explanation he gives for Doru's transformation.
I think after a couple of hours, and I don't know if he had dinner or whatever, but I'll head back to the mansion again.
Okay, he wishes you well. He thanks you for coming and talking with him and spending some time with him. He says he'll be ready for the funeral. Party time!
Might be an Irish funeral.
Yeah. All right, so Adrian, you said you're just entertaining the kid. You're going to do anything else before nightfall?
I am going to stay at the house and hang out with the kid.
Okay. Jugs, you wanted to stop at the mercantile. Was there something specific you were going to be looking for there? Or?
I mostly just want to talk to the guy who runs it and see if he knows anything about the dream pies.
Okay, yeah, Bildrath is there, and he's his usual sour, sarcastic self. But if you ask him specifically about the dream pastries, he says that he's also seen Morgantha around town selling them, but he pretty much assumed that they were some sort of illicit substance based on the way that people kind of looked kind of furtive when they would take them. And he's never seen anybody eat them himself, but...
Does it appear as if a lot of the residents of the city are, eating them, or, I guess you haven't seen anyone eat them, but does she seem to stop at a lot of the residences and spend a lot of time here, or is it...
He sees her probably maybe once a week.
Okay.
Around town. He's not sure if it's always to deliver to the same people or multiple people, or...
Okay.
But she's definitely not a stranger to town. She comes fairly frequently.
Okay. I'll throw him a silver and thank him for helping me out.
Okay. He nods, just as if he was expecting something like that.
Yeah. Information has a price.
Yep. And it'll probably cost 10 times as much if you try to get some from him.
Well, yeah, so I throw him a silver and then walk out, I guess, unless Clytus wants to do anything.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. So head back to the mansion, clean up for the night, and gonna take a long rest before...
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys
I'm in.
go ahead and do that and reset all your hit points and everything as normal. So yeah, they're gonna probably, like I said, the dawn would be at 7. It'll probably take you a good hour or a half hour at least to carry him, make preparations. So I'd say you probably woke up. Arena would wake you up maybe around 5 or 6.
I
And
want
give
the team to know that I'm going to be very cranky at 5 or 6 in the morning.
Well, you're pretty tired actually by the time you get home. Although you didn't do any of the digging. Rowan sleeps like the dead because he did all the work.
Do
But-
we get a inspiration point or no?
Sure. Yeah, actually, that's a good call because especially rescuing the kid and everything and taking care of him and everything. So, yeah, give yourselves inspiration. So before the funeral, really the only preparations, there's some interesting traditions in Barovia. This is different than what you're used to, Rowan, in terms of there's nothing like this in the official Church of Lathander in the realms where you come from, but apparently it's a tradition in Barovia for the pallbearers at a funeral to wear towels tied around their arms while carrying a coffin.
Okay.
Each mourner attending the funeral will also be given a candle, and normally the men, which you all would also be given a handkerchief as an homage that you get to keep and bring home with you at the end of the day. Anyway, what are you going to do with the child, Lucian?
Can we bring him with for the funeral? I want to introduce him to the priest.
Okay. Yeah. Well, do you?
Yeah.
How do you
Tell him
phrase
what's
it to
going
him?
on.
Yeah, you tell him you want to go to the funeral with us, or what?
Well, we don't want to leave him
I
alone.
don't want to leave him alone.
Okay, right. I'm just asking how you're describing it to him. I mean,
Oh, I said, hey, we have to have a funeral for this guy. It's his father, right?
yeah, it's Ismark's father and
And
Irina's father.
we would feel better if you came along. We don't want to leave you alone in the house. Feel much better if you came along with us. You don't have to hang out with us or even be part of the funeral. You just need to not be in the house alone. That would make us better. We're happy.
Okay, yeah, he seems actually fairly mature for a 6-year-old. Seems like probably because he's had to fend for himself a lot of the time, even living with 2 parents, but parents that don't live in reality a lot of the time. So he understands and he'll follow along with you, and
Okay.
he doesn't look like he'll try to be too much trouble. So any other preparations you guys want to make before the funeral?
Nope.
No.
All right. So you carry the coffin then? Is it going to be... You could probably fit all 6 of you if you want. Or would you rather have some people out ahead or behind the party?
I'm pretty fast. I could be the one that goes out ahead of the party if you want. I move at 45, so I can. I'm guessing you guys aren't going to be speedy walking this along.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe myself, Clytus, Jugs, and what's the guy's
Ismark?
name again? Yeah, Ismark would carry, and maybe Irina and Adrian can lead the way with the child in between them.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. So you go to the living room where Kolyan and Diorovich is in this coffin. It looks like it's been basically cobbled together from like doors and stuff from inside the mansion. But it looks like it's well built. It's not going to fall apart when you lift it up or anything like that. And it does have a lid that you're able to cover Kolyan with so you can carry it outside. In that formation, then, you make your way down to the church with the 4 of you carrying the coffin. And when you lift up the coffin, you can tell that he was not a big guy, but he definitely seems slighter than even his frame would suggest, as if he'd really lost a lot of weight before he died. And that kind of seems to jibe with what Irina told you about how he died with all his heart giving out with all these attacks. So you make your way back to the church. The child is kind of in between Adrian and Irina. Irina asks about the child as you go and how you managed to find him, excuse me, and she thinks actually very positively that you're taking care of the child and commends you for your conscientious. Okay, so you make it to the church. Again, the ceremony is going to take place in like about an hour or so. It's still dark, but you're not assaulted or anything on the way into the church. And before too long, dim light starts to arise in the sky. Again, it's not daylight. It's still overcast. In fact, it actually starts to rain a little bit. This kind of cold drizzle as the sky lightens. Are you guys waiting in the church or in the graveyard, or where do you want to wait for the dawn?
Probably, I would think it'd probably be at the graveyard.
Okay. So yeah, as you're standing around the gravesite, you can place the coffin in the grave while you're waiting. It's just more of the ceremony itself will take place at dawn.
Right.
And
Okay.
While you were gone, while you were waiting, Donovich had actually procured a gravestone that hasn't yet been carved, but he found one and placed it at the head so that he'll be able to carve Kolyan's name into it after the ceremony is complete. While you're waiting for the dawn to rise, actually you notice a raven comes flapping down from the steeple of the church and lands on the gravestone and kind of looks at you all intently, one after the other. Irina comments that actually is a good omen, that ravens are traditionally thought of as being good omens, and some, like the Vistani, even have legends that they escort the souls of the dead. But anyway, after a while, the raven takes off, and the dawn is pretty much at the point where you'd consider it to be dawn. So the ceremony is going to start. The priest, Donovich, says a few words and goes through the standard ritual, which is a little bit different than what you remember, Rowan, from the Forgotten Realms again. More kind of archaic, a lot of older words in it. But it proceeds uninterrupted, and at the end, he asks if you would like to say something, Rowan.
It seems that, we've all been brought here as a sign. I think it's our job to help people, and we're well on our way to doing that. So let the light be our guide, shine us in a positive direction, and guide our path.
All right. He bows his head, and Irina and Ismark kind of toss their candles and their towels and a single gold coin they place on the coffin before the grave gets filled up. But with that, the ceremony's over. You're going to do anything? You said you were going to talk to Donovich about leaving the child with him?
If he's willing. If he doesn't, we want to find him a good home. Are we permanently living here? I don't think so, right?
No.
We've been here like a night and a half. We have no idea
We're
what the hell's
supposed
going
to be leaving and bringing them somewhere. I don't remember where the place
Right.
was, but
We're supposed to bring Irina to that other town, I think, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Valaki was where he somewhere safe is where Ismark wants to take her, and the closest closest safest place would probably be Valaki, with it has guards and gates and much better security. And
Okay. So yeah, we're going to Valaki.
Sweet.
okay, well, Donovich says he's more than happy to take the child in, and if he can take care of him in the interim, and he says that he has seen this happen before, where children have basically their parents have succumbed to something and have essentially abandoned them. So he will do his best to find someone that he thinks can take care of him. And if not, he will take care of him himself.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand him 5 gold and say, it's not much, but should help you take care of the child.
No, I cannot accept your money. No, it's my duty to take care of the children.
Yeah, but you're gonna need to feed him somehow.
Yes, I suppose that is true. And I guess if you've met Bildrast, perhaps you're wiser than I am in that regard. So
That's fair.
he thanks you profusely and promises it'll be put to good use in taking care of the child.
All right.
I kind of take him aside and, basically, say that, it's definitely, a sign from Lathander that, you're getting this other opportunity to, bring a child upright and give him a positive future. So don't take this opportunity lightly. This could really help get you out of, your funk, so to speak.
Yes, everything you say is true, and you have done a sizable amount of that already, for which I am eternally grateful. I have refound the path to Lathander, thanks to you. So,
Good.
all right. The Irina and Ismark aren't ready to immediately set off. They do need to go at least back to the mansion to get some supplies before you head out. But is there anything else you need to do beforehand?
I'll just accompany them.
I don't think we need to explore the town anymore or anything, do we?
Well, not for the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go with them and make sure that they can take everything that they need and make sure we're not leaving anything useful behind in the mansion. I don't know how much useful supplies there are, but we don't want to leave anything behind.
Okay.
Is Ismark planning on coming back here?
He's not sure. His first priority is seeing to the safety of Irina, and he'll come with you guys to make sure that she at least safely gets there to Vallaki. After that, I guess it depends on what they find.
All right.
Okay. Well, actually, as you're leaving the church, before anything else, if you guys want, you can make a perception check to notice something.
All right.
We've been so successul with that so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far.
We're very vigilant people.
Whoa!
Hey!
As he says that.
Look at that.
Wow.
Told you we were
Jesus. Eagle eyes suddenly. Except for Rowan, who's actually kind of watching Donovich as they leave. You get, by the way, Rowan, you get the impression that he has kind of overcome his lapse in faith, for sure.
Nice.
The rest of you guys, you notice that as you're leaving, you take a last glance at the grave site that you just interred Kolyan in, and you actually see something laying against the gravestone that wasn't there when you left it.
All right, let's check
Can
it
we
out.
see what it is?
It's kind of dark still, not quite full daylight yet, but it looks like something small and dark.
Walk up to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you approach the gravestone, and it looks like actually it's a wreath of some sort, and looks like some kind of ceremonial wreath with black flowers on it. And with those perception rolls, you guys notice that there's a set of heavy booted tracks that approach the grave from the woods, stop at the grave site next to this wreath, and then that's it. No tracks leaving.
Interesting.
Anyway, that was what you saw. And Irina comments that the wreath is like what's called a crown. It's basically a decorative wreath customarily left by people paying their respects at gravesite. But normally colorful flowers are used, and these are black flowers.
I think it was Strahd.
Okay, that was just an aside that you noticed as you were leaving back to the mansion. But
Yeah. So
anyway,
head back.
yeah, you guys go back to the mansion, make preparations. There's really nothing in the house that they need as keepsakes. Irina is going to obviously keep the armor. The longsword that she's carrying is actually a family heirloom, and she's going to carry that for sure. Ismark, I think he's trained actually in weapons too, so he's going to have a weapon as well. I just need to actually look up what it is. Oh, that's Irina. Hang on. Yeah, he's got a longsword. Actually, he's got a crossbow too. And he has splint mail armor that he'll wear.
Okay. And we rested, correct?
You did a long
Yeah.
rest the night before the funeral, yes. So you're pretty much ready and raring to go.